Good afternoon. Today is January the 7th, 2023. I want to share with you a story that happened to me 17 years ago. On January the 7th, 26, I decided to start being barefoot, and I did that for almost 2 years. Yes, I was completely barefooted. I didn't use a shoe for almost 2 years. And the reason why I stopped doing that is because my daughter asked me to stop doing that, instigated by her mother, of course. Um, well, the subject of today is what we may call my own version of the good news. Um, my good news uh, have to do with the future. Um, in about 2,000 years, in the fifth millennia, we are going to start the stars exploration. We are going to get out of the solar system finally, and we are going to start exploring other solar systems. You may think that why in 2000 years and not in 100 years? The reason is very simple. We will send probes to other planets, but we won't find um, an economic incentive to go to other stellar systems, so we are not going to do it massively. Mm? Um, that is going to be the dominant theme of the fifth millennia, the exploration of other solar systems around ours. About the fourth millennia will be a millennia of war. Now, contrary to what you may think, it won't be there won't be wars where people die. No. In fact, the same people that will be alive when the first battle arrives will be alive when the last battle ends 1,000 years later. How is that possible? Well, because we will be um, the technology will be advanced enough to make us live forever by that time. So what kind of war will be that? Wars in which nobody will die? Well, there will be wars about dominance of wealth, you know, asteroids, uh, astronents, which are asteroid continents, artificial asteroid continents, and many other things um, that will be subject to wars in order to change hands, to gain control or to lose control. But as I said, nobody will die because we will have the issue of the eternal life solved many centuries ago. So that is what will happen in the fourth century, in the fourth millennia. There will be a millennia full of wars in the solar system, but those wars won't be with casualties. It will be just with destruction and changing of hands of territory. And when I say territory, I don't mean land, I mean areas of the solar system. The third millennia, so the millennia where we are, will be a millennia of peace. Now we may think, well, but nowadays we have a lot of wars in several parts of the world. Yes, but this won't last many more years, um, and I will tell you why in a moment. Um, what will drive this millennia of peace will be that we will be too occupied, too busy exploring and conquering the solar system. As soon as we um, start having presence in outer space, in what I call the ether, which is not the interstellar space, but the intrastellar space, meaning the space within the solar system. When we start having presence in the solar system space, the ether, we will start exploring the moon, Mars, Venus, asteroids, Jupiter, Saturn, etc. And that will be something that will take us uh, the whole rest of the third millennia. Think about this as a repetition of what happened after the discovery of this continent that the world called America, and that I call Avia, A-B-I-A. After the discovery of Avia, Europeans took all the gold, silver, and other metals and wealth of this continent and took it to Europe. Well, in fact, they did something similar to Africa, but it was different. Um, all that gold, silver, and other things that Europeans took out of America or Avia and took to Europe is the secret why a gigantic slum that were Europe in the 15th century became the center of sophistication in the world and technological advances and scientific advances in the following 4 centuries before the United States took the post. Um, Thanks to all that gold, all that silver, all that wealth, Europe was able to create a lot of things that wasn't possible to be created before. Well, when we start the exploration of the solar system, we will do the same, but that exploration won't last mere 300 years as it was with this continent. It will last for an entire millennia, this third millennia in which we are living. We will forget about mining this tiny planet Earth, and we will start mining asteroids in great scale before the end of this 21st century. And as I said, we will be in peace one with each other because we will be very busy exploring and mining all the solar system for 1 millennia, and that will give fulfillment to the prophecy in the Apocalypse book that says that we will have 1 millennia of peace in which the devil will be I don't remember the word, well, in which the devil won't be able to do anything. After that, when the fourth millennia came, the devil will be released and we will have 1 millennia of war, but as I said, it will be a war with no casualties, just a lot of destruction. Um, Now, how will be the exploration and colonization of the solar system in this third millennia? It won't be colonization of planets as everybody thinks. No, we are not going to colonize any planet. We are going to um, have telepresence. We will understand something very real. Number one, radiation outside the atmosphere is uh, is lethal. mm. We can't survive out of the Earth atmosphere. We just can't survive. In order to survive, we would need a lot of shields, very heavy and thick shields, to avoid the several types of radiation that exist in the ether, meaning the solar wind and the cosmic rays and a lot of things. So, in order to survive, we will stay on Earth for the rest of this 21st century. Now, um, if the technology of eternal life wouldn't be developed, we will continue living on planet Earth for many more centuries. The problem is that the eternal life technology will be developed very, very quickly, and people will stop, people will start, stop. How can I say it? Yeah, people will stop aging and stop dying, and that is the most worrying thing. People will stop dying. So the Earth will start filling again with people. Fortunately, thanks to astrominery, which means asteroids mining, we will be able to build a lot of structures out out in space, and we also will um, know how to build space elevators. So by the end of this century, we will start moving massively to gigantic structures out in space. There will be two kinds of structures, what I call astrinents, which means asteroid continents, which will be small artificial moons. And when I say small, I mean from several hundred kilometers to several thousand kilometers. Um, those astronauts will be located in geostationary orbit or in Lagrange points L4 and L5. For instance, in the system Earth-Moon, we will have a lot of astronauts in L4 and L5 having the same distance to the Earth and to the Moon. Something similar will happen with other planets, but we will, for instance, in the case of Jupiter, we will have a lot of astronauts in L4 and L5 surrounded by Trojans and Greeks, Trojan asteroids and Greek asteroids. There will be so much space when we start conquering and colonizing the solar system that we won't have any reason to fight or to have a war, you know. We will be very busy conquering the system. And the way of conquering the system will be not go into space. As I said before, we will understand that space radiation is deadly, so there is no point of going to space until we have a really secure environment to go. These things, the astronauts, these little moons, will be that secure environment because they will have a thick shell surrounding the interior, so it will be a thick shield of several meters of asteroid rock. I don't know, maybe 10 meters or 20 meters. Um, so well, I should use, if I am speaking in English, I may say I don't know, 30 feet, 50 feet, that thing. Those thick walls will prevent the entrance of cosmic rays and any deadly radiation. Then other kind of structure that we will build will be what I call what was the name that I did it? That I gave it? I don't remember. Well, there will be rings around the planets. These rings will be connected to the planets with a lot of space elevators, and when I say a lot, I am meaning 1, 2, 3, 4 or more dozens of these space elevators. And the thing is that the colonization of planets and moons won't be taking people to the surface of those planets and moons. We will build these rings around the planets and the moons, and we will connect those rings with the surface of those planets and moons with space elevators, and we will use, thanks to telepresence, we will use avatars to go to the surface of those planets. And in the future, telepresence will be so prevalent that it will be like our second nature. You know, as today is absolutely global the use of cell phones, it will be global the use of avatars for us to be anywhere in the solar system where an avatar can be, and without the risk of the physical risk of being in our own flesh there. There will be avatars all over the solar system, so if we want to be in any planet or in any moon, we will just need to connect to that avatar, and thanks to the advances in neurological link with these avatars, we will feel like if we actually been there, as if we've been there in flesh, you know. Um, so in that way, we won't need to worry about all the things related with oxygen and keeping our temperature right, and anything, or a place to sleep, or food to eat, or where to take a bath. No, no, no. We will send avatars there, and also life will be, for instance, you are in your house, you wake up in your bed with your wife, with your in, and we will live with you will live with your children, and you will say, after taking a shower and having breakfast, you will say, well, I'm going to Neptune. Okay, bye bye. And you will enter into a chamber with the suit of that will connect you with your avatar in Neptune, with an avatar in Neptune. It won't be your avatar, it will be any avatar in Neptune, in the place where you want to be. You will connect there, and you will be there, and thanks to the advances in neurological links to these avatars, you will feel 100% as if you were that avatar in Neptune. And thanks to the advances in artificial intelligence, since there is obviously a delay between wherever you are and wherever the avatar be, the artificial intelligence will create a simulation for you to think that you are doing things in the present, while in reality those things will be done in the future because of the speed of light. Now, there will be an important difference between the 21st century and the rest of the third millennia. In the 21st century, all human beings will live on planet Earth. Nobody will be living in flesh in space. So we will use avatars to colonize the Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and several asteroids. We will start feverish activity of mining asteroids and building astronauts that, as I said, will be asteroid continents, and also rings around planets. The first one will be around the Moon, then it will be around the Earth, then around Mars, then around Venus, and so on. But all humans will still live on planet Earth. The problem is that when the eternal life technology get universalized on planet Earth, people will start dying, and it will start another population. Anyway, don't worry, because when people stop dying, they will stop having children either. For these prophecies, I based my thoughts very much in which is happening in China and Japan at this moment, because they are living in the future more than any other society on Earth. China has built several dozens of ghost cities, cities full of empty buildings, and thanks to the one-child policy, they now are not having children because it is too heavy for them to raise a child. Well, something similar will happen when the eternal life technology arises. In that time, we will stop having the need of having children, because if we are going to live forever, we won't need a successor. We will be our own successor for thousands of years. Of course, if somebody wants to have a child, it won't be no problem, but people will be bombarded with the message of don't have a child because the earth is overpopulated, blah blah blah. So eventually it will start being hard to live on planet Earth, and also there will be some other pandemics that will kill a lot of people without access to the eternal life technology. Eventually they will build structures out in space, and they will start a campaign for the people on planet Earth to move to space. And people will start doing it because on these structures outside planet Earth, you won't have any earthquake, any drone, well, in fact, you will have the same temperature all year long, all day long. You will have complete control over your environment. there will be big companies and trillionaire people that will be the owners of these huge things. I don't think they will be one single person. It will be um, a consortium or something like that. And I think that on January 1st, 2101, uh, the whole planet Earth will be declared human. Hold on a second. World Heritage. Um, and no more houses made of bricks or buildings will be allowed on planet Earth. So people will start moving outside planet Earth. The only people that will stay on planet Earth will be those who prefer a more natural way of living. Hmm? Now about an important question: when we have eternal life, when are we going to go to heaven? Right? I'm sure many religious people will take the eternal life as a bad news, while of course the atheists and people and gnostic people will take the eternal life technology as good news. But religious people will say, well, but if I live forever, I will never go to heaven to rejoin me with my beloved dead ones. It is not like that. Well, if I say that God told me, you may not believe me, but well, that is up to you. I believe that God told me that you don't go to heaven or to hell when you die. You may go to heaven or to hell while you are alive, and when you die, you stop having the chance to move to heaven or to hell. You just got stuck in the place where you were when you die. Mm? For instance, all children are born in heaven. Mm? When you were a baby, you were in heaven. But then circumstances happened, and many people moved to hell. Those who learn how to live and how to forgive and how to be happy in this life, those who learn to love life, came back to heaven, and those who never could learn to love life, or those who never learn how to forgive and how to love each other, they consider this life as hell. Well, if you consider this life as hell, it's because this life for you is hell and you are in hell, and when you die, you won't go to hell. You will be in hell because that is the place where you were all your life. And it doesn't matter if you are good or bad. If you ask yourself a question right now, do you consider your life heaven or hell? Now, now, at this moment, do you consider your life heaven or hell? If you consider that your current life is heaven, you're in heaven. If you consider your life hell, you are in hell. It doesn't matter if you make sins or not. It doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do, what you think or what you don't think, what you feel, what you don't feel. If you think your life is hell, you are in hell. And if you die, you die in hell. And dying means that you won't have the chance to come back to heaven because you are dead. You are dead. That's it. So that is a message. Uh, that message is encrypted in what happened to Jesus Christ and to Mary. Remember that after Jesus Christ resurrected, he ascend to heaven, right? So he died, he resurrected, and then he ascended to heaven in flesh and blood, but it was a glorified body. Remember? And then Mary did the same thing. She ascended to heaven in flesh and blood. Uh, so it means that we we will go to heaven uh, or to hell without the need of dying. When we have eternal life, we won't have to wait for dying to go to heaven or to hell. That made me the clue for me to understand that now heaven is when you think you are in heaven, when you think that your life is heaven, and hell is when you think that your life is hell. Um, I know this is not what religions teach, and that's why I will eventually uh, found my own religion. But I'm not in a hurry. Uh, I believe what I believe is the truth, a truth that um, came to me very recently, uh, because before what had happened in the recent times, we we didn't have any clue about the future. We have clues about a lot of things, but we didn't have a proper clue about the future. And when I realized that eternal life will be uh, an inevitability of our future as a species, then I thought, well, then if we are going to live forever, one way or another, what will happen with heaven and hell? And well, finally, I believe God gave me the answer, and the answer is that if you think that your life is heaven, you are in heaven, and if you die, I won't say you go to heaven. If you die in heaven, so you will be already in heaven. And if you think your life is hell, so you are in hell. And if you die thinking that your life is hell, you die in hell and you will remain in hell. Um, Now, as I said before, when we reach eternal life, we will be the same person forever and ever. But in the meantime, I believe we have something similar to reincarnation, but I don't think it is the reincarnation that Hindus, Buddhists, and other religions believe, because they believe that you may reincarnate in a plant, in an insect, in an animal, or in any other human in the future. I don't think so. I think you will reincarnate, but that is not the word, but let's use that word by now. You will reincarnate in somebody of your own flesh, somebody who will have most of your DNA, you know? Um, and that when you reincarnate after dying, again you will be granted again with the possibility of going to heaven or to hell in the course of that life. Um, I think that those are good news. Um, I think a bright future awaits us as humanity. Um, I think progress is not a straight line. Sometimes progress go down, but eventually we will achieve peace and we will explore the whole solar system, which is huge, and it is full of elements, not only the planets, but also a large amount of asteroids that we will mine for at least 1,000 years in peace, and then another 1,000 years in war. Um, and then, after 2,000 years of exploring, colonizing, and mining the solar system, we will enter into the fifth millennia, and we will millennium, and we will set our sight into the stars, the near stars, and we will try to reach them one way or another. Um, well, I think that will be enough for today. See you tomorrow.